Good evening, I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News Update. One man is dead after a blaze tears through a two-story home in District Heights. The incident happened last night about 10 o'clock in the 1900 block of Bruton Street. Fire officials say when they arrived, flames were bursting from the home. After searching the house, they found a man who was trapped inside.
1024 units located the resident of the home, 67-year-old Winifred Edward Williams, and removed him from the home. Despite all life-saving efforts, Mr. Williams was declared deceased on scene. Our hearts go out to Mr. Williams' friends and family and to the District Heights community at large.
Again, the victim has been identified as 67-year-old Winifred Williams. Two firefighters were also taken to a hospital with minor injuries. The latest COVID numbers for Maryland reflect what's been happening all across the country. The numbers are going up. Of the 256 new cases confirmed since yesterday, 57 of them are in Prince George's County. The positivity rate crested at the 2% point yesterday for the first time in weeks. It now stands at 2.15%. One person has died of COVID since yesterday. Hospitalizations are down at 168. The COVID mask-wearing policy will continue in the fall for Prince George's County Public Schools. All students, teachers, and staff will be required to wear masks inside classrooms and offices. CEO Dr. Monica Goldson made the announcement earlier today. Students will be heading back to school at the end of August. Well, you will find the technology in cell phones at airports and in retail security. Facial recognition is also growing in law enforcement, but former State's Attorney Glenn Ivey says that it is not always accurate and has a higher error rate when identifying black people like his client. Ivey, who is now a criminal defense attorney, says his client was accused of assaulting police officers as they swept demonstrators from Lafayette Square last summer.
There's a lot of problems with facial recognition. For example, there's a clear bias against dark-skinned people, African-American males in particular. These seem to have problems with. And they're also, they're not clear-cut like this is the guy. Sometimes usually they return multiple hits saying that these could be the people. And then, they weed it out based on that. But it can be misleading as to how accurate or inaccurate it actually is. So we challenged the facial recognition, and this is the facial recognition software that was just shut down, I think about 3 or 4 months ago. It had been used by, I think it was the Council of Governments, and it was based in Virginia. Virginia passed a new statute that restricted it, and that may be one of the reasons they shut it down. We also think it might have been that there were problems with inaccuracies with that software too.
Federal prosecutors have now filed a motion to dismiss the charges against Michael Peterson, Jr. Well, Prince George's police investigate 3 homicides that occurred over the weekend. One unfolded in the 6800 block of Cherryfield Road in Fort Washington. Police say 29-year-old Jether Bonds was found shot to death just before midnight on Sunday. Investigators say a few hours later in Suitland, a man walked into a hospital suffering from gunshot trauma. He died a short time later. Police say the incident happened in the 4500 block of Silver Hill Road in Suitland. And a third man was shot to death, this time in the 13,300 block of Laurel Bowie Road in Laurel. Investigators say 33-year-old Antoine Riley was shot at around 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon and was pronounced dead at the scene.
No arrests have been made yet in either of the cases. However, significant progress has been made in the Laurel case. The other 2 cases, the one that occurred in Fort Washington and also in the Suitland area, those 2 are still being investigated. But as far as the Laurel case, significant improvement has been made, significant headway has been made in that case.
Anyone with information about any of these incidents is asked to contact police. Well, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi appoints another Republican representative to join the House Select Committee tasked with investigating the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Pelosi has picked House member Adam Kinzinger of Illinois. Kinzinger joins Liz Cheney of Wyoming as the second Republican to be named to the 9-person panel. He and Cheney voted to impeach former President Trump following the January attack. Members of the House Select Committee are set to meet tomorrow. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Coming up, he's been on the beat for 45 years and counting. We'll meet Officer Charles Montgomery right after the break. Stay with us.
America, land of the free. It's at the core of who we are. Freedom. The freedom to live without fear, to drive through all 50 states, to sleep safely in our own beds. The freedom to jog where we please, to watch birds in the park, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because no matter your religion, gender, disability, age, race, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Noah.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Welcome back. A Prince George's lawmaker is nominated to be the next U.S. Attorney for Maryland, the first Democrat in 20 years. Delegate Eric Barron was nominated by the White House. The 47-year-old defense attorney has been a member of the Maryland House since 2015. Prior to that, he worked as a federal prosecutor as well as an assistant state's attorney in Prince George's County and Baltimore City. The Bowie resident also has a direct tie to the president. He worked as his counsel and policy advisor when Biden was a U.S. Senator from 2007 to 2009. Maryland Attorney General Brian Frosh names the first chief to head a new independent investigations unit in his office. Dana Mulhauser will lead the unit, which was established after passage of a package of police reform bills during the last General Assembly session. Mulhauser is charged with investigating police-involved fatalities. She led similar work in St. Louis, Missouri, and also served the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division, prosecuting police misconduct, hate crime, and human trafficking cases nationwide. A Prince George's police officer celebrates more than 4 decades with the force. This is Sergeant Major Charles Montgomery. He joined PGPD back in July of 1976 and is celebrating 45 years with the agency. When Montgomery graduated from the police academy, his family gave him a bulletproof vest as a gift. The 65-year-old says this protection gear, which is standard today, wasn't issued to officers back when he first joined the force. Over the course of his long career, Montgomery says that he's had to adapt with the changing times.
I would advise you to do it only if you're looking to make it a career, not just a job. It takes a lot of sacrifices on the parts of people. Don't realize public service workers, policemen, firemen, EMTs, and all. You don't realize how many birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, that because your work schedule, you may not be with the family and so forth. Hopefully you get an understanding family, understanding spouse, children.
Montgomery currently works as a supervisor in the Crime Scene Investigation Division. He plans to retire in 2 years and vacation with his wife. Well, 2 forgotten tax credits could help you with your rent or property taxes. The Maryland Consumer Rights Coalition is reminding residents to apply for the homeowner's property tax credit. Your household income has to be less than $60,000 a year, and your home must be valued at $300,000 or less. There's also the Maryland Renter's Tax Credit, which is worth up to $1,000 a year. You must be over the age of 60 to apply or disabled.
Before the pandemic, most of the SOAR program's clients were facing tax sale. Most of them are older adults, and they're either behind on the property taxes and they come to us for help. These applications can really, it can really be the difference between an older adult, keeping their property.
And you have until October 1st to apply. For more information, visit marylandtaxcredit.com. We'll have much more news in just a moment. Stay tuned.
COVID-19 has changed how we express our faith and gather to worship. We all want to get back to how we pray, how we congregate, how we lift our voices in praise. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to spreading the word without spreading concern. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions.
Should I get it?
Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's okay to have questions. Now get the facts. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Thanks for staying with us. Governor Larry Hogan signs an executive order to bring more awareness to the state's disabled community. The executive order recognizes July as Disability, Cultural, and Achievement Month in Maryland. Officials say Maryland is the only state with a cabinet-level department that focuses on cross-disability issues. Hogan's announcement coincides with the 31st anniversary of the American with Disabilities Act.
Throughout the month, we will promote and enhance events and activities all across the state focused on disability, pride, culture, and contributions to society. And I want to thank each and every one of you for the incredible work that you do in our communities.
Hogan also gave a citation to Maryland native U.S. Paralympian Becca Myers for her advocacy for the disabled community. A former CTV employee receives an award at a prestigious book festival. The New York Book Festival has given Lauren Poteet an honorable mention for her 2020 children's book, Giraffes Don't Talk to Ants. It's a story about an independent ant who saves his colony by befriending a giraffe. Lauren received news of the award over the weekend.
As an author, it validates my writing and my hard work, and that, I did, in fact, put together a very memorable piece that could be shared among generations and parents to come. And then just on a wide scale, I think that it also acts as sort of a catalyst to other people looking to find good books to read and share with their families and their children's children.
And Giraffes Don't Talk to Ants is available on Amazon, Kindle, and Barnes & Noble online. Well, let's get a quick check now on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 72. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 94 and a low around 72. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 92, a low around 72. And Thursday, partly sunny with a daytime temps. They should be in the low 90s. And now for the community calendar. Attention parents, the Prince George's County Public School System is accepting student transfer requests for the upcoming school year. Parents and guardians have from now until Friday, August 13th to submit requests electronically through the School Max Family Portal. Now, paper forms will not be processed for students currently enrolled. If your child isn't enrolled but has a student ID number, or if they're entering kindergarten, please send an email or call using the information on your screen. And that wraps up our newscast. Join us again tomorrow. I'm Patricia Vallone. Have a great night.